Hi everybody. I would like to do a slightly different video because I just recently did one on the Leica rangefinder family, and this has made me think a little bit about Leica, about cameras, about why you buy certain cameras. And we're talking non-professional use, we're talking consumers and why you buy a specific camera, and most certainly why you would spend several thousands or 10,000s of euros or dollars for a specific camera. And there are a lot of discussions regarding the Leica because in fact, if you take a Leica, this is the MP that I've done some videos on, and it's hard to justify why you buy a camera like this, because usually when you spend money or when you buy something, you buy it to do something for you, and then you want to have what does what you want to be done the best possible way. And Leica most certainly is not the camera that does photography the best possible way. Because if you want to have something that does photography the best possible way, you will get something like, for example, the Sony A7R. It's a modern, very well designed, high quality, high performance, high megapixel digital camera, full frame digital camera. So probably in pure technical terms, this is one of the best cameras out there. If you want to take pictures, the best possible pictures, period, you will probably go for something like this. So why spend much more than what you spend for a Sony on a Leica? And there are a few things that you might want to take into consideration. And to put it in a way that is comparable to other products, other businesses, I would say it's a fashion thing. It's a fashion thing, not in terms of something that is in fashion right now, but in terms of something that gives you an added value that is not measurable in quality or in technical terms, like for cameras, like you would usually do for cameras. So what does a Leica give you? A camera like this will give you a feeling when you use it that reminds you, for example, of old cameras. When this camera came out, this is the M3, when this camera came out, Leica was not a fashion statement. It was not, it was a state-of-the-art camera. This one, the MP, the current MP, is not a state-of-the-art camera. What you get with this one, up to a certain degree, you do get quality, but mostly you get a part of the heritage of something. And what you do get, if you hold these two cameras, the Leica and the Sony, in your hands, and this may be subjective, this may be stupid, or whatever you want to call it, but with the Sony, you get a machine, a tool, something that is made by machines. It's thoroughly developed and attempts to be flawless even. With the Leica, you get something that you feel is made by people. So let me try to find something to compare it to. If you take watches, I have two watches. This one I got at a gas station, and this one is a Rolex. They even look similar. You know, it's basically what you have is this one is an electronic watch. Put a battery in, and it will run for 2 or 3 years. It will show you the time more accurately than this one. It costs, well, this one costs basically nothing. This one costs a lot of money, and in technical terms, probably this is the better watch. But still, this has a justification to exist, because this one is manufactured. This is made with a certain idea behind it of of giving you something that will last in time. Now with a digital camera, lasting in time is difficult, even though I started thinking just recently that now we reached a level where the improvements you will get on the quality side, if you take the Leica MP and you have a full frame camera with 24 megapixels, the processor is really good, so the quality that you will get out of this camera should actually last. So as long as you can have this serviced and repaired if something is wrong, basically this will deliver in the top level of quality that you can expect from a camera in this class. The only improvements you may get are interface based. So we're back to the modern up-to-date camera where you say, okay, there is going to be a touch screen, the screen is going to swivel more or less, you will get Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, NFC, whatever. But basically the image quality that you will get is going to be sufficient in time. So that is one thing you have to take into consideration. For many things, yes, it is a fashion statement probably, and it's not necessary, but that is actually the advantage if you're not a professional photographer, that you can really say, I want to take pictures and have fun taking pictures, enjoy taking pictures. And it's like driving a vintage car. There's probably or absolutely no reasonable basis for driving a vintage car, because it's going to be unreliable, it's going to be harder to maneuver, harder to control and everything. But still, a lot of people appreciate vintage cars or vintage motorcycles because there's a certain beauty in it, and there's a certain beauty in using them, not just looking at them. And for the same reason, I guess, you have cameras like the Leica, and they're justified to exist, because you do get a feeling when you use a Leica, even though it's not the perfect camera. It's for many things, as a professional, probably I would never use this camera. I would use something more evolved. And this is not evolved because consider that, you know, you have autofocus, and you've had autofocus for decades now, and this one is a manual focus camera. So why? There's no reason for not having autofocus nowadays. But it's the feeling you have when you use something like this compared to when you use something like this. This is more efficient. This has more, you know, feeling about it. And this is my view on why you buy a Leica camera. So there's no reasonable justification to buy one. It's about the feeling. And now anybody can say, who gives a damn about the feeling? It's up to them. And that's why I would never compare I mean, to be on the technical side, a Leica to a modern DSLR or digital camera, mirrorless camera, because in fact, even though I've done it in the past to check the quality of the Leica and to see that it's up to a certain standard, but in terms of saying buying guide or deciding what to get, you really have to decide not which camera you get, but what the purpose is. So if you're going for something that delivers a result purely, then go for a modern camera. If you want something that gives you a certain feeling when you take pictures, so it's not about the final result and the process, but it's also about the feeling and why you take pictures, then you should get a Leica if you want it. So these are my thoughts. People may agree or may not agree. It's up to everybody to decide what they're after and what their purpose is. But if you're interested in a Leica, trust me, hold one and you will see that there's a difference comparing it to any other camera out there on the market. Thank you very much and have a great day.